what are the typical challenges you've seen during the course of this long and long journey that you've had in this space from during the formalized stage? So what are the kind of typical challenges you see?
I think there are a lot of challenges, but I will just the critical challenges which I have faced. I will talk about that. So initially, when I started my journey with CSR, the bill was just started and it was not so formalized, right? So I think making the corporate understand what development is all about, because it was philanthropic approach and it was more activity based intervention. So I think making them understand that it is beyond activity where you have to bring sustainable change was something which was a very challenging space. But I think somewhere I was fortunate enough that the corporates I have worked in, they knew I am an expert in that area, so they honored it. And they even or let me put it in the other way, I was fortunate enough to work with the corporates who were also passionate about bringing the change. So I think that is how that was done. But second challenge which I faced was to change the mindset of the people who are working in the corporate, because it's not the management who makes the management makes the decision, but it's very important that the mindset of the people. So I think the mindset of the corporate people who are working there to understand CSR from a different, it's beyond, it's not just uh, policy level even they are doing. It's about sustainability. It's about bringing a positive change. So I think that is something was a big challenge for me. The second challenge was again of the funding scenario. If you look 20 years back, the funding of NGOs were done by INGOs. Okay, so it was NGO funding the NGOs, right? Now the corporates are funding the NGOs. So I think the mindset of the NGO also needs to be evolved, and it needs to be changed, because the working style of NGO was grant based funding. It was not linked to the deliverable plan. It was, so I think that is somewhere, I think, to marry the both. It was very important that both needs to evolve, and both needs to understand that both of them come from a diversified working culture. So I think they need to marry each other and respect each other, which should be which should be based on trust, transparency and faith. So I think that is something which is the major challenge, and both of them are working. I would say it's not a challenge which has not been addressed. I think it has been addressed, and most of both NGO sector also and most corporates are also working on it. I have seen in many of the corporates, they have also evolved. The financials, the everything, they have evolved, and they are understanding the challenges NGO face. And similarly, NGOs are also evolving. So I think that's the beauty of it. But yeah, challenges, these were the few challenges which I faced initially.